嘿，各位老师，各位同学，大家好，我是高健。Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jake. It's not Jake from State Farm.
And who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
We're going to be talking about things that have been happening at Skritter that we want you to be aware of. We're going to talk about things in the Skritterverse that you might want to check out, and we're going to end things with one question for you to reflect on and ponder on and think about and comment on below at the end of today's video. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first up, let's talk about 3 things that have been happening at Skritter recently that we want you to be aware of. Number 1 is the ability now inside of Skritter mobile applications for iOS and Android to do cards inside of decks inside of your library. So if you're going into your library, you're studying words, you're learning new words every single day, you found a cool deck that you like, it maybe goes with your textbook, or you're following along some of our courses, things of that nature. Now you can learn inside of the deck, and you can also review inside of the deck. So any cards that are linked to that deck that you're studying and reviewing from, you'll have the option to do that directly in the deck. But this update actually goes one step further than that, which I think is the really cool and exciting part, where you can go into individual sections inside of the deck and you can review your cards directly in there. So this is a great opportunity for you now to really stay on top of your do count and stay on top of your do cards and study the things that are really important and critical for you in that moment, while also using SRS. So here you can go inside of a deck, you can go inside of a deck section, you can learn in that section, you can do tests in that section, and now you can also make sure that those cards that are due that you're likely to forget, or things that you're learning for the first time and need to reinforce a little bit more using SRS, those things are going to be accessible inside of the deck now, inside of your library. So you don't need to go through and mess with filters on the home screen. You can if you're looking for a global review experience, and that's still a great way to get everything done at once, open the application and quickly knock out a couple reviews. But if you want to be streamlined and focused, if you have a due card count that's maybe a little bit more than you'd like or can handle in a given day, but you want to stay on top of your studies, especially for courses, textbooks, things of that nature, now you can go inside of decks in your library, you can go inside of sections inside of those decks, and you can knock out your due cards right in there. So that's a huge cool update we've added. We hope you enjoyed as well. Number 2 here is actually also on the decks, and that is a new deck settings option that we've just rolled out inside of the mobile applications. This has been available for a while on the website, but we're kind of sick and tired of telling people to go to the website to change these settings. So here's the use case here. You're studying, you've got your global card set up the way that you want it. You've got your writing card, your listening card, your tone card, your definition card, but there's some deck inside of Skritter that you don't want to do all those 4 card types on. Or there's some sentence deck inside of Skritter and you want to actually have control over learning those cards and seeing those cards. Why is this helpful? I think this is super helpful for everybody because it does give you more control, especially over some of those new decks that you're thinking about studying, or some decks that you might have been interested in studying, but you said, you know what, I don't really want to, I'm interested in HSK 6 vocabulary, I'm interested in this other vocabulary deck that I've been making, but I don't want to learn the characters for this deck, or I only want to learn the characters for this deck, or I only want to learn the definitions for this deck. Whatever the use case may be, now this is something that you have control over inside of Skritter mobile applications. Finally, for Skritter updates, we have another integration and update that we're super excited to talk about, and that is an integration with Maayot, the graded readers series and mobile application, new stories inside of your inbox and on your website and mobile phone every single day, ranging from HSK 1 初级 all the way up to HSK 6 plus 高级课. We have a new integration with them. Our APIs are talking to each other, and that just means that anything that you're learning on Maayot, anything you're learning in context, any words that you're looking up are going to automatically be added to Skritter as you look them up. This is a great integration. It's a great graded reader series and something definitely worth checking out. So using context and using SRS, linking those things together, and over time, if you're doing this and you're looking at vocabulary that you're struggling with and you're studying it and focusing on it inside of Skritter, what you're going to find is that you don't have to look up this stuff anymore. Definitely worth checking out. And if you aren't a member of Maayot, but you are interested in checking them out, we're going to have a link in the description below for Maayot. You can use this code Skritter at checkout to save a little bit of money on your subscription and show support. All right, everybody, before we wrap up today's video, it is time to end with a question that you can ponder and reflect upon and comment on below. What's something that you can do in your target language these days that you couldn't do a few months ago, or you couldn't do at the start of the year? And I would love to hear from you about what that is or what those things are, because it could be more than one thing. But I think so often we think about a lot of goals that we have in front of us, right? We have these goals, we have our language learning goals, we have the things that we want to be able to accomplish. And sometimes that can be, if we're not there yet, if we haven't accomplished our goals yet, then it can be hard to get that motivation every single day. But I think that asking these kinds of questions of ourselves, right, reflecting back on things, can be a really positive experience, And if you're doubting me, go back. If you're studying your language, right, and you've been studying for a while, go back to beginner materials, right? Go back to the very early on. Think about these characters and think about, go show your friends how to write characters, even the most basic characters. And if they don't know Chinese, Japanese, whatever, they're going to be blown away. They probably don't understand them as well as you do, and they don't know how to read these characters, and they don't know about the intricacies of the characters and how they combine together and the stroke order and all these other different kinds of things. So let's think about that. Let's ponder on that. Let's motivate ourselves and get inspired by ourselves and the things that we've already accomplished. And hopefully that'll help carry some energy forward for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year. So that's my question today. Ponder on it, think about it. Let us know in the comments below, what are things that you can do now that you couldn't do before? I look forward to hearing from you. All right, everybody, that's a wrap. Really looking forward to reading your comments below on what you've been working on and how you've been leveling up. And if you are on the fence, or you don't know how to level up, or you don't know how to see what progress you're making in your target language, then I would highly encourage you to go check out the Skritter applications and start your trial today. We've got courses, we've got decks for a bunch of different textbooks and study resources, and we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of characters with loads of customization. And that way you're really going to learn these things really efficiently. We've got loads of new settings inside of the application, as you've seen in this video today. Start your free trial, and we will see you in the next one. 好啊，谢谢大家，下次再见。Peace.